Hi everyone, welcome to the MRKWP YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up Blocksy the pro way that we do it in MRKWP. So you're in the tutorial, you're here to set up Blocksy. You're probably thinking, why did I do this tutorial? Why was it that we set this up? Well, the answer is quite simple. We have a team at MRK that's setting up sites for our clientele all the time. And as a result, I had to create a training series on how to set up properly. And this is super important. If you get a good setup right at the start, it pays dividends for the life of that website. So I'm going to show you the plugins that we use when we set up a Blocksy child theme, how we set up Blocksy itself, what we turn on in the companion, everything from zero to hero as we go through with that setup. So I hope you like it. Let's jump on in and get started. Okay, so here I've got a bare WordPress website. So if I log into that on WP Engine, here I've got just a bare install. Right now there's nothing in there, so I cleaned out the default stuff that you get, like Genesis blocks and things like that. The theme right now is the default theme. So what we're going to do is say add new, and we're going to do Blocksy here, like that. And we're going to say install. Okay, so that's installed. Then I'm going to do upload. And what I have here is just all sorts of different stuff that I've downloaded. And I'm just seeing if I've got a Blocksy child. I do. So there's Blocksy child, and I've downloaded that from the Blocksy website. So if I just Google Blocksy child theme like that, comes up first here, and I've just downloaded this child theme. All right, so that's all there. So I'm there, that's all good, and I go install now. That's good. So I'm going to say activate. So that's now activated. So theme details, that all looks okay. So I'm going to go then to the theme file editor. And what I do at this point is just change the name. And that's going to be for Pots Group. So that's what the name of it is. It's a Blocksy child theme. The author is myself. Like that. Template and text domain's fine. So that's all good. And I'm just going to say update file. Theme functions.php, that's currently loading just the parent style only. So there is no style sheet within this. And then up the top here, we've got this, thanks for installing Blocksy, install the Blocksy companion. What we're actually going to do for that though, is I'm going to go to the plugins and say add new, because again, I've got to upload the plugin that I've got here. So if I go upload, then we've got all these different plugins and stuff I downloaded earlier. And we should have one here that says Blocksy Companion Pro. So there that is there. I go open and say install now. So this is being downloaded from my account. So here in my account, I've got all my details here that I'm an agency. I've got unlimited licenses. So I'm going to copy my key from there. I go activate for the plugin. And then it says paste in my key. Agree and activate. And there we go. We're now all activated. So then I'm going to go to extensions. There's a couple of these extensions that I always put on in the Pro extensions. So the first is custom code snippets. The second is post type extras. This site doesn't have post type though, so I'm not going to worry about that. The other is local Google fonts. I'm going to activate that. And advanced menu, we update that too. White label, all the rest are all okay. We don't need them. The cookies consent, we will update and add that later on. But as you can see, that's everything now installed. So if I go and visit the site, I've now got a bare Blocksy site all done, and we're now ready to start adding content. So I can go now back to the dashboard. I'm going to dismiss the WordPress 6.0, and I'm just going to check for updates. So we're good to go. So that's how I set up Blocksy by default. There's a couple of other plugins I'm going to add though. So next up, what I add is Yoast. So we go Yoast like that. And I'm going to install Yoast for the SEO purposes. That's good. So we activate that. All good. And then we're going to install. So we don't have to worry about that. That's all fine. So I was going to try to take you through the configuration, but I don't want to do that right now. Next up, add new. I want to put in redirection. Install. Activate. Does that activate? There we go. Activate. There we go. It's activating now. Okay, that's good. Then I go through the redirection setup. Start setup. So I want to monitor and keep a log. And then I say finish setup. It's all good. Finished. So there we go. Now it's going to start logging any error pages that I've got. And then I'm going to add another plugin. And I'm going to say upload. And here I want to put WPMU in here. So I'll put the WPMU dev dashboard in and install that. Now, WPMU Dev Dashboard is a tool that we use for our reporting on our sites and to make sure things are kept up to date. So, it's got a couple of extra tools in there too. So what we want here is just to log in. This is a login for WPMU. So I go log in. Very good. Okay, so then we're going to go install plugins as the next option. And what I want to install here is Defender, which we put on all our sites, and Smush. So I select both of those. So Defender and Smush. And then I say install and activate, apply like that, and that's going to go and install those. Smush Pro optimizes images, and Defender basically stops us getting hacked. It allows us to put things like a Google capture, stuff like that on our login pages, and stops people being able to just cheat and, try to brute force our login and that sort of thing. So I say reload now, and there we go. Those are now installed and ready to go. So I go to Smush Pro here and go begin setup. I just follow this. So I want to optimize the new uploads. I want to enhance that. I want to strip metadata. I want to compress my full size images. I want to disable the lazy loader because that's something that's inside Blocksy and I don't need to let them track how I'm using the plugin. And that's it. So that's all ready to go. Pretty easy. There's no files in here yet because we're, already set up, but all the details are there. Defender Pro, I don't need to really do anything there, but I'm going to click on it anyway just so it doesn't nag me. So I just say activate and configure. It runs through some basic things. There we go. And then finish. Nice and simple. That's one thing that you really want for a security plugin is something that's nice and simple. So there we go. So that's all set up and ready to go as well. So next up, we want to add in gravity forms because that's the form tool that I use. So I'm going to go upload again. And let's see if I've got that downloaded here, or I do. Gravity forms there. Install that. Compatibility. And then I'm going to click here, say pull. And it's loading my WP Engine sites. And we're going to go to POTS group. There. And we're going to take my development environment, include the database, like that. And it's now determining the file list. You might be asking, hey, why did I use an existing installation? I've just been finding that lately when I have an existing install and synchronize things down, I have less chance of getting 404 errors from the site when I pull it down. You may vary. I'm using Windows 10 Pro, Windows 11, it might be better. I don't know. But I just find that generally it works that a little bit better. So I've got everything there that we're going to do. All that's all fine. So I'm just going to say pull from WP Engine, and then that's now going to pull down my files. Once that's finished off, my child theme and other items that I want to add to JIT will be there. So I'll let that go on while that's downloading and extracting. Now I'm going to jump onto my GitHub account and I'm going to create a new repository. And this is just going to be called pots group child theme, just like that. And I'll say this is a child theme for pots group. Website using Blocksy theme. That's good. So everything else is okay now. So just click create repository. And there we go. So that's all ready to go. Oops, I called it Poots Group. I better change that. There we go, rename. There we go. That's a bit better. All right, so now we just got to wait for this synchronization to happen. That's probably going to take a few minutes. So we'll jump back onto it once that's all pulled down. Okay, so now that's all downloaded. I'm just going to check that that's all worked. So I click open site and I should be seeing the same as what I've got on WP Engine locally here, if this has all worked. So sometimes it doesn't work, right? So that's why I always check it. It should have worked, so we should be good. So I'm just waiting for that to load. That's inside that tab. And we can see, yep, pots group, it's all there. That's fantastic. All right, so next what we need to do is set the code up to be able to work with JIT. So I'm going to open up my Windows terminal. All right, so now I'm in there. I've got my different sites here. So I'm going to go into pots group and inside to the app folder and inside to the public folder. And now I'm in the core of WordPress and we want to go into the content folder now and then go into the themes folder. And we can see there that we've got my Blocksy child. So then we're in the Blocksy child. There is everything there. That's my initial git commit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take that there. Because I want to do a git init first. So we go git init like that. Then we're going to git add, and we want to add everything. Git commit all. Added the initial setup of Blocksy child thing. That's my comment. All right, so now I've got all those files added to my git. Then what I want to do is change branch to main instead of master. Then I'm going to add my remote origin. And then I'm going to push up like so. Enter your password. And up it goes. Up to date. Let's go now into my child theme. And there we go. Everything's all been committed. We can see it's all there. I can add a README file in. So I can do that remotely if I want to. So I'll just say this is a child theme. There we go. Commit new. Right, so there's the README now. And then if I go git pull origin main. There we go, and the README file has come down. So we can now see that that's all managed inside of JIT, and my child theme is where it should be. So we're now really ready to start jumping into a little bit more solid development on the site. So one of the things you can do with a child theme is make a design for your thumbnail. So the default child theme has that, and when we look at the default theme, you can see we've got a JPEG file that's 1200 by 900. So what I'm going to do is just create a design, custom size, 1200 wide by 900 high, like that. Create a new design. Cool, and then there's nothing really here that I kind of like the look of. And what this is going to do is if I go to the appearance within the site and go to themes, this will update this image here, okay? So that one there. And you can see here that I called this Poots group by accident, so I'm going to fix that as well. So that image is what we're going to change. So let me put the logo there, and we'll find some sort of element that's like, a square. Square that out a bit, like that. And we'll take in a MRK blue, like that. And then I'll duplicate that up. And for that next one, we'll just use white. That. And we'll center that in the screen, like that. And then we'll get some text. And let's have a bit of a look down here. Is there anything that I want? Then we'll take that. Child theme, Blocksy 21. So we're just going to center align that bit. Center align that bit. We'll take Poppins for that one. I'll get Poppins medium. That looks a bit better. And then I'm going to acquire rounded that. That's good. And then this top one here, we're going to bring the size down a lot. So we get it all on one line. Then I'm going to move the whole group just down there. And then I'm going to group that. And position. That's middle and center already. Position, center. That looks like that just has to go just a little bit bigger. There we go. Position. It's all centered. Good. So there's my new thumbnail. So that all looks pretty cool. So then I'm just going to click on share over here. And I'm going to go to download. And what I want to do is get a JPEG. If it's there, it's there. JPEG. Quality. Quality doesn't really matter. So I'm going to bring it right down to 20. And then download that. That's downloading. All right, so there's my file there. So I'll show that in a folder. And then I've got my other folder here, which says screenshot. So I'm just going to copy that out there. Go back to here. Child theme. That needs to be changed to screenshot like that. And then we drag and drop it over here. Replace the file in the destination. That's good. And then I'm going to open up my JIT account and say JIT commit updated to branded screenshot. That's good. That's now in origin main. That's good. And then what I'm going to do is just go like that. That's in my public folder, is it? So let's see. All right, so now I've opened up. Yes, I trust the authors, and now I've got my whole site inside of here. So I'm going to open up inside VS Code my Blocksy child theme. And what I wanted to do in this readme style.css, I want to just change that poots to pots. Just like that. That's good. Okay, so I've just logged into the site. We're going to check that those changes have taken place. Let's go to Appearance, Themes. Okay, and we can see now we've got Pots group and our new thumbnail is in place. I want to go Theme Details. There's all the details there. So that's all looking great. So now I'll jump in and push that all up through JIT. All right, let's go back into the folder. There we go. And I'll put the right brand spelling in now. Push that up into main. done. We're good. Okay, so now we've committed everything up that we want to commit. Our Blocksy child theme is now all up to date. That's good. So I'm now able to push that back into the main live site and we're ready to go. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this video on how to set up Blocksy the Pro way. In the next set of videos in this series, we're going to continue on showing you the best way to get going with a pro setup for Blocksy. That includes how to set up your theme, fonts, different types of layouts, companion plugins for all sorts of different things. It's going to be great. Make sure to like and subscribe to make the most of it, and I'll see you in the next video.